Okay. I'm gonna share my screen with you guys. Make sure. All right, you guys can see. Okay. All right, you guys. I'm super excited that you guys are here on tonight because you are about to learn about one of the industries that I enjoy the most. So I hope you guys are excited as I am. Woo, 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 woo. So, I feel like saying, let us pray, but I ain't gonna say that. Okay. I just wanted to say that. So as you guys can see, this is very informal. I want you guys to really take in the information that I'm going to share with you guys on tonight. I want to just talk to you guys about, helping you to discover whether or not the tax industry is the right industry for you. So I am going to go ahead and get started because I want to honor your time. So first of all, thank you guys so much for being here. Thank you for signing up, and thank you so much for allowing me to help you to understand whether or not this is the right industry for you. Okay, so put my glasses on. There's some people. All right, so let's get started. Is the tax industry the right industry for you? So what can the tax industry do for you? So how I got started in the tax industry and why I love this industry so much. And I want to share that with you guys first. So first of all, if you guys can see the picture on the screen, believe it or not, like this is me before I got started in the tax industry. When I began to look at that little girl that's on the screen, I see someone who was confused about life. I see someone who was going through depression, trying to figure out how her life was going to be different from the life that she have seen and been a part of her entire life. And so for those of you guys who don't know me, that I didn't come from an advantage type background. So no one in my family lives the way that I live, manage money, wealth, and all the things that God has given me the way that I do. So I am a prime product that you don't have to be a product of where you come from, that you can make good choices, you can make different decisions, and you can look at where you come from and let that be a stepping stone to greater. Oftentimes people, they get stuck because they come from a certain background or they don't have a handout. And I feel like a lot of times that people don't step into their purpose is because they're waiting on someone to hand them something. But when you begin to look at or hear testimonies of people like me, or even someone like a celebrity that you follow and you love, everybody has a success story of struggle. And so this is what I love most about my life, is that no one can take credit for what God has done in my life, and also the decisions that I have made to make it to where I am today. I want you guys to know that you are just one decision away from your life being better than where you are today. And for me, the tax industry was the industry that helped my life to become better. And so when I got started as a professional in the tax industry, I never thought that this would be my career. I never thought that this would be my bread and butter. I never thought that this would be the avenue that God uses to unlock wealth in my life. It's something that I started doing right out of high school at the age of 19. I got my taxes prepared by one tax professional. And since then, I've been preparing taxes. But I did not become a professional in the industry until my back was against a wall and I was fired while I was pregnant on bed rest with my promised child. And so I had to lean back onto the skill sets that I knew. I knew that I was good with people. I wasn't necessarily good with money. If you guys follow me, you'll probably find a grammatical error somewhere. So I don't even try to pretend as if I'm the smartest one. But I knew that I had a drive and a determination to be successful. I knew that it was a sin for me to be broke and to be in poverty. You know, a lot of people, they use the scripture that says that that the love of money is the root to all evil. You're absolutely right. The love of it. I don't love money. I love what money can do for people and to do for other. I love the fact that money is a tool that God has given us on the earth. And I love the fact that you can convert money into wealth, because money is actually not your wealth. It's what you do with money that makes you wealthy. And so I want to share with you guys like some of the things that I've learned while being a part of the tax industry. So when you see me on this screen, you're looking at someone who was in a state where you may be at today. You may be trying to figure out life. You may be trying to figure out how to get from point A to point B. You may be trying to figure out how do you manifest this dream and this desire that God has given you. And so that's who I was when I got started in the tax industry. But when you look at your girl now, honey, this is me after the tax industry. I have found myself, I've found my confidence, and I've found various ways on how to use the tax industry to really help me to do the things that I'm truly passionate about. So since being in the tax industry, you guys will see several logos on the screen. For those of you guys who don't know, I'm a full-time entrepreneur. I've been a full-time entrepreneur for over a decade, author, kingdompreneur, kingdomaire, a mother, wife, and an intercessor. I love the fact that I'm in a career where I don't have to choose loving God or choosing to be successful. I love the fact that I can love God. And I have this saying that says that you can be saved and paid at the same doggone time. And so what I've learned to do is to take the money that I make in the tax industry, and it helped me in so many ways to launch out into different industries. So now I'm doing things that I never thought that I would be able to do. And I am excited that the tax industry was a stepping stone for me. So when you guys see these things on the screen, you may not realize it, but the tax industry can actually be a stepping stone to help you do the thing that you ultimately desire to do. And so besides being all of this that you see on the screen, I want you guys to know that I am anointed to pull individuals out of poverty through the power of entrepreneurship by teaching and training taxpreneurs to build sustainable and profitable tax firms. And so when you guys have an opportunity to work with me or to partner with me, you're working with someone who is anointed for this thing. There are some people who are in certain industries just to make money, but I know that there's an anointing that is attached to my life, and the anointing, it is the difference maker. And so people who are already in the tax industry or they're looking to transition into this industry, I'm the one that they come and look for, you guys. I've done something in this industry that nobody that I knew at the time was doing it. So when I got started in this industry, I used to come up with these training programs and courses where I was only training my team. And let me tell you just how one industry can unlock something that's in your life. So I came up with this training program where I was just training my team, and people who would come on my team, like they would become very successful, like off of my training. And there may be other tax professionals that you know, especially in Alabama, some of them work directly with me. And so once I found out that I was really good with coming up with training content, I said, okay, now how can I get this into the hands of other tax business owners? And so I started offering my training to other tax business owners, and then their team started getting trained very successfully. I was like, okay, now I'm on to something now. Now, what can I do to really stand out in the industry? And that's when I created the IRS Tax Academy. And this school provides continuing education on the behalf of the IRS. Listen, you guys, let me tell you this. I am going to clap for my doggone self, because I was the first independently owned continuing education provider in Alabama. Black owned who did this. There was no one else who had done this when I started this school back in 2016. And so since that time, I've been able to create courses. I train people literally all over the world. I help people start their schools, get into the industry. And so, you know, I had no clue that when I started in this industry, that there is going to be an unlocking inside of me. And so I'm sharing this with you guys because I want you to be just open to the process of doing something different than what you are doing today. Okay. All right. So you're working with somebody who is anointed for this thing, and I take this serious. So this is our objective. Tonight, I am going to help you decide if this industry is right for you and how to enter into this industry with my help. Okay, so we're going to talk about why you should work in the tax industry, why people choose not to work in the industry, what do you need to work in the tax industry, should you work for yourself? You're going to learn about our services, and then I'll have an opportunity to answer any questions that you guys have. All right, so y'all ready to really get started? Y'all ready? Okay, let me see. Let me see if you guys are ready. All right.
We ready.
Okay, all right, let's go. Let's go.
We ready.
Okay, good.
Ready.
Awesome. So first of all, $2.63 trillion was generated in the tax industry in 2022. Let me just tell you that. $2.63 trillion was generated in this industry in 2022. The industry, it continues to grow. The average tax preparer, they can range, their salary can range anywhere between 10K to 41K as their first year as a contractor. And so you guys, it depends on your hustle and what you're willing to do and how hard you're really willing to go at it. You can literally make a year's salary in just a few months in the tax industry. Like within the first 60 days, most tax professionals, they make their money within the first 2 months of the tax industry. So even though it starts like in January and it ends in April, most tax professionals, they have made their money by February. Like their income is already, their revenue is already generated by February, you guys. And so I wouldn't tell you no lie. I wouldn't try to oversell you. I want you guys to know the absolute truth is that you guys can make anywhere between 10 to 41K. And I'm going to show you guys like the differences from the lower side to the higher side in the tax industry. Shoot. And just depending on how your hustle is, like, you know, there have been people who have made six figures in their first year. It depends on their history as an entrepreneur and their connections and how much they're willing to put into this industry. All right. So this is a 1099 that we paid out, and this was a payout from 2019 for my company. And as you guys can see, I paid over 6 figures to contractors in 2019. So that was just 2019, over 150K that was paid out. Okay. So if we paid that out in 2019, you can just only imagine like what we generated. All right. I ain't gonna tell you how much we made, but still though, I'm just letting you know that if we put this type of money into the hands of other individuals, you can only just use your imagination as to how much money that can truly be generated in this industry. So I wanted to give you guys proof. I wanted you guys to see that this is a form that was literally transmitted to the IRS. I didn't have time to update it to let you guys know what we did this last past tax season, but I just wanted you guys to see that there's truly money to be generated in this tax industry. And can I just tell you guys this, that there's nothing special about me. I truly believe the Bible where it says that God, he's no respecter of person. And so that means that if I can do it, you guys can do it. You just have to be able to believe in yourself, not be afraid of rejections, not be afraid of putting yourself out there, and just really putting the momentum behind your desire to succeed. And this is truly, it is the key for any business that you go into. All right. Also, let me just tell you guys this. 100 million Americans paid for tax prep in 2021. Okay. 100 million Americans, they paid for tax prep in 2021. Right. So as you guys can see, that the people that you see here today, the people that's in your household, the ones that's in your address book, guess what? They all generally have to file taxes, right? All right, so I want you guys to know that the chat box is open. So now it's time for you guys to grab your pen and paper and let's really get into it. All right, so why the tax industry? The reason why I love the tax industry is because there's low startup costs. You can get into this industry from $0 to about $1,000. And it has a high profit margin. So if you guys don't understand what that means that you put out little and you generate more. And so the reason why I say $0 to start is because if you decide not to get any tax training, like you can, figure this thing out on your own and not pay $1 to get started in this industry. And the reason why I say up to $1,000, just for the simple fact that if you decide to open up your own tax practice, y'all can do that for less than $1,000. Like you may decide within that $1,000 to get training, professional software. You may decide to take a course or something like that. But you literally, if you wanted to, you can get started in this industry for as little as $0. But it just depends on your history. It depends on, the things that you have done in your past, whether or not you get started in this industry for $0. Is it possible? Absolutely. It is possible to get started in this industry with no money. Okay. And if you guys were to do your research, if you guys were to just Google low cost businesses to start, guess what? Tax preparation, it is going to be one of the industries that come up. Because it really is a low startup cost that you make unlimited amount of revenue in this industry. And the great thing about it is that whatever you put out in this industry, like you have the potential of making it back, like less than a year. Like even if you were to spend $1,000 in this industry, you're gonna make it back so fast with just a couple of clients. Okay, so you'll make that back with just a like if you were to get 5 clients, you will make way more than $1,000. Okay, so this is why there's a high profit margin with this industry. Okay. Why the tax industry? Because it is recession proof, you guys. Even during the pandemic, guess what we were doing? We were still preparing taxes. Like people are getting, even if they were to quit their 9 to 5, and if everybody was to become an entrepreneur, guess what? You're still gonna need tax professionals. You just need us. This industry is one that is recession proof. I love the fact that no matter what environment that I'm in, I'm always seeing potential customers. I'm seeing potential clients, whether I'm at my baby's school or whether I'm praising God at church, whether I'm looking at your pastor or if I'm watching somebody online. Guess what? Everybody that you come into contact with becomes a potential client when you're in the tax industry. Where they do that at? All right, next. It's the flexibility in schedule. So when I decided to go back into the workforce, so while I was in the tax industry, I had to go back into the workforce because at the time my family needed health insurance, and this was before the Obama plan. But I was still working a 9 to 5, and I was still running a tax office. So there's so much flexibility in schedule. So I was working like 9 to 5, and then I would see my clients from like 5 until sometime 10 and 11 o'clock at night. So I was able to still work a 9 to 5. Not saying that you have to do that, but you can still work your 9 to 5, and in your spare time, you can still see clients. You can now everybody has a virtual process. Even though we have a commercial location, like over 85% of our clientele still virtual. And so we don't even get a chance to see them. We prepare taxes of individuals all over the world. And so there are people that I've never seen before where we've created a virtual process where they don't have to come into the office. So what does that mean for you? That means that you can prepare taxes at home. Okay, professional tax software. You can pull it up right on your phone. You can pull it up on your iPad. You don't have to be stationary. You can literally be a traveling tax preparer where you go to your clients. So there are creative ways in order for tax preparation to fit in the flexibility of your schedule. Okay, you can still see your kids go to practice, and you can be preparing taxes while you're in the car while they're at practice. Like if you go to church, there are pastors who would allow you to set up an office at their church, and you give them a small commission, give them a small fee while you're servicing your church clients. So again, the creativity from working in barbershops, you can work in a beauty shop, a nail shop, you can work at a car dealership. Like, tax preparation is needed, especially in partnership with other individuals. Okay. So again, like low startup costs, recession proof, flexibility in schedule. And guess what, you guys? You may be thinking like, wait, I may not be smart enough to get into this industry, but I want you guys to know this, that there is no degree or education that is even required to get in this tax industry. You can be a high school dropout and you can still be a tax professional. You may not even be good with math. Oh my God, you may not be good with numbers, but if you're good with people and if you're willing to learn, then you can be good in the tax industry. Right? So you don't have to have what you think that you need. Because, oftentimes when we start thinking about doing something new, the first thing that the enemy does, he tries to tell us everything that we're not. And I'm trying to dismantle the lies and let you know that you don't have to worry about being the smartest. Again, I tell you guys all the time, I am not the smartest, but I may be the most driven. I may have strong work ethics, but it has nothing to do with my smarts or my intelligence. Everything that I'm teaching you guys, this is stuff that I have learned along the way, and you guys too. So don't worry about having a degree. You don't need education. There are no requirements from the IRS for you guys to enter into this industry besides having a tax preparer identification number. As a matter of fact, they don't even require you to get education to work in this industry as far as tax going to like a tax school. Like, they don't even require that, although I do recommend it as far as best practice. I definitely don't recommend you preparing somebody's taxes and not having some form of education. But what I do realize is that some of you guys been playing around with TurboTax or other online providers. Some of you guys have been preparing your taxes yourself. Like, especially for those of you guys who have been doing that, like if you can do that yourself, then you can also enter in this industry where you can prepare other people's taxes legally, ethically. Right? So this industry is for anybody who really wants it. Okay. All right. So let me give you this saying. Can everybody speak in tongue? Absolutely not. Why? Because everybody don't desire to speak in tongue. Okay. So can anybody work in the tax industry? Yeah, it's available, but for those who don't want to enter in, it's not available for you. All right. So same thing. You want to speak in tongue? It's available. And if you desire, you can. If you want to work in the tax industry, it's available. You can. All right. If you don't, then you have to figure out the industry that is right for you. All right. So next. All right. So let's talk about the possibilities of you entering into this actual industry, the possibilities. Like, imagine, what can you do with an extra $5,000 or $10,000 that you make within 2 months? 3 months. What can you do with that? You can get out of debt. You can pay down your debt. You can actually take that money, especially for those of you guys who have a 9 to 5. You can literally take that money, save it, and you can start another business that you're truly passionate about. So watch this, you guys. Entering into the tax industry is not always about passion. Sometimes you may be in this industry because it is about profit. Okay. It's about what can make you the quickest amount of money so that you can do those things that you're passionate and purpose for doing. The reason why I love this industry is because it connects with my passion and my purpose, and that's helping people to unlock wealth in their life. So this industry aligns with my purpose. But some of you guys may decide to get in this industry because it is a profitable industry that will help you to put the money towards the things that you are truly passionate about, right? So the possibilities of you guys being in this industry is to get out of debt, start another business. You guys can use the money to travel. Some of you guys just need extra money. You can use that money to travel. What about using the money to do things for your kids? How many of you all have never traveled with your kids internationally before? How many of your kids don't have passports? Like, what are some things that you really want to expose your family to? And you just needed extra money in order to do that. Guess what? The tax industry can help you guys with that. It can help you with that. Next, you may decide to get into this and decide that, wow, I really like this industry. I want to turn it into an entire career. You may be saying, you know what, after I get into this industry, I'm going to go ahead and open up my own tax firm. Guess what? You can do this. This could literally be what you have been waiting for. Because some of us, we spend time in prayer saying, God, I want you to increase my finances. God, unlock the power of wealth on the inside of me. God, I need you to do this, do that. And then when opportunities come like this, sometimes we are afraid to jump on them, but you've been praying about it. So you're here today because there's something inside of you that intrigued you about the tax industry. And so you got to figure out what's that inside of me that is intriguing me about this industry. There's a pull on me for this industry, right? So you have to decide, like, wow, like, is this, like, as I'm talking, I want you to really use your imagination to say, man, is this something that I can really do? Is this something I really see myself doing? Okay. So one, the possibilities, getting out of debt. Oh my God. The Bible said to owe no man nothing but to love them. Use this money. You may only have to work a couple of tax seasons. You may only have to work a couple of tax seasons to get out of debt. I was watching this young lady online, and she's a mogul. She's a real estate mogul. And they asked her how she got started with investing. She said she saved 2 of her refund checks. And I was like, yes, yes, yes. Like, man, imagine preparing the taxes of someone who used their refund money to go on and become extremely successful. Man, I'm like, yes, that means that you're using your knowledge to help someone else to do something that they're very passionate about. Okay. So get out of debt, start another business, travel, start a new career. What about savings? Some of you guys just need an emergency savings account. Okay. Like, you need to put a few months just, you know, in savings, where you're tired of living from paycheck to paycheck, never having a cushion. There's some things that you want to do and you don't even have savings to be able to do that. Like, the tax industry can literally change all of that for you. And what about getting into the industry because you have an opportunity to help other people? Man, like, being in this industry, like, we get an opportunity to help so many people. Our clients, they feel like family to us. Like, I've been to funerals, I've been to birthday celebrations. Like, I've seen my clients renovate houses, buy new houses, cars, vehicles, you know, take care of their health. Like, man, it's phenomenal when you begin to see the work that you do help other people. And then what about this one? I just couldn't leave out without saying using the money from the tax industry to invest, man, invest. Some of you guys want to be investors. Some of you guys have desires in your heart to build subdivisions, to become a developer. You want to become a landlord. You want to flip property. Like maybe this is the way that you can achieve that goal in a quicker way. Because I don't know many industries that you can come in and then your first year, like within a few months, you become profitable, right? So you can use that money to invest, to become an investor, all right? So these are some of the possibilities that you will find just entering into the tax industry, how it helps you in other areas of your life. Man, I was talking to someone, I'm helping her with opening up her tax practice now. And she was like, I was like, why do you want to open up a tax business? She was like, Dee, she's like, I want to leave a legacy for my kids. She was like, she had like 8 kids. I was like, you got 8 children? I was like, girl, you need to get every last one of them in the tax industry. And she was like, that's my goal. She was like, I want to build this business so that my kids will never have to worry about working for somebody else. And guess what, you guys? Because I'm a full-time entrepreneur, I give my child, she got options now. She got options now. I'm not the parent, and I'm not saying there's anything wrong for the parents who do this, but I'm not the parents that have to force college down my child's throat because I didn't see another option or another way. Absolutely not. My child can go from high school to full-time entrepreneurship. Why? Because her parents are full-time entrepreneurs. And there are some things that you like this industry, like, you make more money than people who have college degrees. Like, so sometimes we force our kids into something that we know may not be suitable for them, but because we don't know another way. So I don't have to force my daughter to go to college because there's not another way. Oh yeah, there's another way. If you don't want to go to college, right? Like we about to grind and you about to become an entrepreneur. She'll be one before she graduates high school anyway. And my goal is to make all of our girls 6-figure earners before they graduate high school. That's because guess what? What her parents have exhibited before them. So I'm just letting you know, like it's really bigger than the tax industry. The tax industry is just an avenue. It's just a road. It's just a conduit that God uses for us to really tap into purpose. Sorry about that, y'all. As y'all can see, the fire burns inside of me when I began talking about, what this industry can really do. So, okay, let me turn down my fire a little bit. I get so crunk about it because I've seen like this industry like turn my whole life around. Man, I'm not even supposed to be here. If you guys seen, like I always share my testimony, how I was a troubled child. Y'all, I was in and out of jail. Like I was troubled. My mom, like she didn't know what to do because every phone call was like, come get me. I spent weekend time in jail, you guys. Like I had to go turn myself in on Fridays and get out on Sundays. You know what I'm saying? So I'm letting you guys know, man, like this is not supposed to be my life. Like the success that I've had, like this is not supposed to be my life. So I don't care what obstacles that you see that you have had or that you have faced. Look at me. And every time that you see me, just like, God, if you did it for her, then I know that you can do it for me. So there's nothing that you have been through. There's no failures that you have experienced in your life that you're not able to overcome. There's no mistakes, no bad choices that you have made in life that you're not able to overcome. The tax industry so happened to be the industry that God used me to get me out of trouble, to get me out of the streets, and to help me to build a successful portfolio. Right now, let's talk about, like that sound all good. So let's talk about some of the reasons why people decide not to go into the tax industry. Here are a few ways on the screen. Okay. One, risk that is associated in the tax industry. So as paid tax preparers, there are penalties that the IRS hold us accountable for preparing accurate tax return. But when you guys choose to take your training through our academy, we teach you the tax laws so that you are minimizing your risk. We teach you tax preparation the right way. All right. Two, the reason people choose not to go into this industry because they really don't like people, okay? The most successful tax preparers are those who love people, those who are not afraid to put themselves out, those who are not afraid of rejection. If you guys have been in sales in any area of your life, like if you've been in sales, like you can do this industry. If you like talking, you can do this industry. If you like being the light to other people, you can do this. If you like helping people, then you can do this. Okay. Don't like being responsible for other people's information. So when people choose you as far as being a tax preparer, you are responsible. That's why there are security policies and everything that's put in place in the tax industry, because you are responsible for other people's information. I do not take it lightly for people who choose me to be their tax preparer. Why? Because they have to unfold all of their information to me. I get their birth certificate, social security cards, driver's license, all of their income information, their family information. Like I get all of their information. We get so much information in the tax industry that if you wanted to duplicate somebody, you got their information to do so. So people don't like the responsibility of having other people information. But because we put systems and processes in place, and because I treat other people the way that I would want to be treated, like we put security processes in place to garner that information that we get from our tax clients, like that's not even an issue. You are trusted with sensitive information. Another reason that people don't like coming into the industry because they don't like change. Okay, they become almost overwhelmed by the new tax laws. So every year we have to become familiar with the tax laws or with forms that may change, right? And so some people, they don't like staying abreast of tax laws. They don't like changes. There are some people, they just want to do things the exact same way every single day. But let me tell you guys this, even from a personal standpoint, that there is no growth in that. A person who does not like change or willing to adapt to change is a person who don't like to grow, which means that you stunt your own success. I'll say that again. You stunt your own success when you don't adapt to change. If y'all feel me on that, I want you to put 1 in the chat box. If you like, I want you to drop 1 if you feel me on that. People who don't like change are those who stunt their success. Man, have you guys ever met somebody? Yes. Have you guys ever met someone and you know what's in this person and you like, man, why are you struggling like this? Why are you living from paycheck to paycheck? Because you know what's inside of that. Usually it's somebody who is unwilling to adjust to change. It's usually somebody who wants things only their way. It's usually someone who's not willing to adapt to growth. It's usually someone who say, well, I put my pants on this way and I ain't got to submit to nobody else. Like, it's usually those people who sabotage their own success. And if you're one of those people, hear me in the realm of the spirit, that you got to break that mentality in order for you to have all that God has for you. Oftentimes we blame God because we don't have certain things, and God like, no, I'm trying to get everything to you, but you refuse to change. Nobody can tell you anything. You're so argumentative. You don't want to try anything new. Like, your growth will be stunted. I was talking to our mentees this past week, and I was telling them this, and this is a quick cue for you guys as well. Like, as much as we want to stay away from AI is of the future, and AI is showing up everywhere. And if you don't get adapted to using AI, especially in your small business or in your business, in entrepreneurship and ministry, then guess what? Then you're going to be left behind, and you're going to find yourself working much harder, and you're going to be stuck. AI is of the future, you guys. It really, really is. I mean, they're even coming out with phones. Like, they got that new Google Pixel 8. It has the AI feature in the phone. So you're going to have to learn to adapt to adapt to what's happening. And those who are not willing to adapt are usually those that are left behind. And when people get left behind, they start doing this. They start pointing fingers and blaming everybody else for their lack of success. They start going back to their childhood trauma. They start blaming their parents. They start blaming their siblings for not helping them. They start blaming their employers. Like they start blaming their spouse. They start trying to point fingers at everybody else because they refuse to adapt to change and they refuse to grow. All right. Another reason that people decide not to get into the tax industry is because of the competition. Okay, so let me share with you guys this. So many of you guys may not know that I used to be married to a pastor. So I was what, you would consider like a first lady, y'all. And so when I entered into this industry, people was telling me like, you shouldn't be talking about refunds and talking about people getting a refund and then going to church and talking about tithe and offering. Like people was telling me that, there was a conflict. They was telling me that it was a conflict and I shouldn't do it. Man, what would have happened if I would have listened to those people? My future would have lacked because I listened to those people. Man, there was times where I'll never forget that in my first brick and mortar location, there was this other tax office that was right across the hall from me. And, somebody was like, why would you go into a building when they got another tax office right there? That's your competition and stuff. Like the other tax office, they were very mean. Y'all, they would take down my signs and everything. Like they would take down my signs. My clients would try to come in. They would try to get them to come into their office and all of that. But guess what? How many of you know that no weapon forged against you will ever be able to prosper? And here we are still standing after all of that. So after everything that people tried to do to tell me not to get started because I was in ministry, telling me not to get started because, there are tax preparers everywhere. Well, what's the difference between there being gas stations everywhere? There's a CVS and a Walgreens. There's a Walmart and a Target. There's a Costco and a Sam's. There's a Burger King and a McDonald's. People like having choices, and I wanted to be one of their choices. So don't ever be afraid of a little competition. It make you go harder. But people like the fact that there are options. Okay. And I wanted to be one of the options. Okay. Now, who are your competitors? Okay. Some of your competitors that you will find like online software companies such as TurboTax, TaxAct. You'll find like your big franchises like H&R Block, Liberty Tax, and then other tax pros. Yes, you have competition in this industry, but guess what, you guys? It still has not stopped us from achieving our goals and helping others to do the exact same thing that we have done. Guess what? It didn't stop anything. It didn't stop anything. And so that's what I want you guys to know. Like nothing is stopped in this industry. Just because you have competition. Man, there's a picture on this screen. And in my old house, one of the greatest joys was after tax season, building this built-in swimming pool for our kids. A built-in swimming pool, like turning our yard and being able to put a built-in swimming pool in our backyard. That was something that was like, it was such a great achievement for us. And so there is nothing like wanting to do something that you finally have an opportunity to do. Okay. All right. So this is some of the things that you really need to know about this industry. Okay. One, what does it take for you to be successful in this industry? What does it take for you to be successful? One, you got to be a go-getter. All right. So like, okay, just because one person say no, keep trying until you find somebody that say, yeah, you can prepare my taxes. I always tell people this, that brick walls are there for a reason. It lets you know how bad you want what's on the other side of the brick wall. So if you want your success, your wealth, your investment, to get out of debt, to do things for your family, be willing to get through the no's, be a go-getter, a winning mindset. Losing is never an option, you guys. Listen, it's always mind over matter. Y'all remember that it's always mind over matter. It's what your mind tell you. So if your mind tell you that you're going to win, that you're going to be successful, that you're going to have great results, and if you're willing to put the action in it, guess what? Like, you're going to win, because the greatest obstacle, listen to me well, y'all can take this with you and apply it to every area of your life. The greatest obstacle that you'll ever have to overcome is the obstacle of your mindset. Oh my God. If you agree, put two. Put two. The greatest obstacle is having to overcome the obstacle of your mindset. That was me. I had to overcome the mindset that I was going to live the way that my parents did, that I was never going to be successful. There is no way possible that someone who did have a generation of millionaires was going to be able to be a millionaire. Like, I had to overcome like the mindset that said that I can do and I can achieve something greater than what I was familiar with. So learning to overcome the obstacles of your mind. Next, you got to have determination, you guys. To meet your financial goals and to help people. Like, I'm just determined. I'm just the type of girl, like, I don't use excuses, and I'm just determined to hit every goal that I put before me. People's like, dang, Dee, how you able to do this? Because I ain't quit. Man, I feel like this. I feel like this. And our parents used to tell us this. And this is one of the mottos that I live by. And I want to give this to you. The motto that said, if there is a will, there is a, what else? What else? If there's a will, there's a what? That's it. If there is a will, there is a way. That's the motto, man. Think about that thing, like, for real. Let that get in your, like, in your spirit. If there is a will, there is a way. So that means that if you got a will, then you'll find a way. So the reason why things don't happen for certain people is because they don't will it to be. Oh my God. They don't will it to be. But if there is a will inside of you to become successful, to achieve your goals, then you will find an ethical, integral way in order to make it happen. Okay. Y'all saw those words that I used. I said ethical and integral. Okay. Because there's a way that you can do it without having ethics and integrity, which leads to death or destruction. Okay. But determination. One, dedication. Like, really be, like, if you want to win in this industry, like, really be serious about it. Like, completing your courses and then putting yourself out there. Like, really being dedicated. Like, man, I'm really going to put my all into this and see what it becomes for me. And before you know it, you may find yourself really liking it. Okay, what else does it take? Like, you really do need the training. I want to be able to train you guys. I want to train you. I want to use my years of experience, my expertise, to help you guys to really understand the tax industry. And I'm going to talk to you guys about that in a minute. And then in order to get started in the industry, you're going to need a P10. This is a personal tax identification number. I think for this year, that number is less than $20. So every person who prepare taxes that are paid, they must have a P10. That's what we call it in the tax industry. But don't worry about that now. I'm just letting you know, because we'll show you how to register to get this number. Okay. All right. So what are your options? These are your options. You can work for yourself. You can work for another company, or you can do both. And this is what I recommend. I recommend that you work for a company for at least one tax season. So this way you get your feet wet. You get an opportunity to go through your trials while working under the tutelage of someone else, get the training that you need, getting your feet wet, really trying to understand this industry and what it takes. Okay. After you go through your first year, this will let you know whether or not you are going to open up your own company, or you prefer to continue to work with someone else. Okay. Now, how the pay work in this, I don't have a slide for this, but I really feel like I need to tell you guys how the pay work for this. So if you work for someone else, there are two ways that you're going to get paid. You're going to get paid either as a contractor, or you're going to get paid as an hourly employee. So if you work for someone like H&R Block or Liberty Tax, they're going to pay you like hourly. So they'll probably try to start you off anywhere between $14 to $16 or something like that, right? Or you can work for usually like a taxpreneur like myself, and then you can get paid contractual, which means that based upon the tax preparation, you get a set fee, usually anywhere between 125 to 175 per person. Okay. Or if you start your own company, then you get 100% of your tax preparation fee. Okay. So that's usually how it works. So I want you guys to just keep that in mind. So when you guys start, looking to work for other individuals, you know what your options are. You can ask them, hey, are you paying hourly, or is this a set fee or a percentage of the tax preparation fee? All right. Okay. Now, let's work together. Let me tell you how I want to work with you. This is how I want to work with you. I want to teach you taxes. I want you to learn through our academy, which is the IRS Tax Academy. Not only will you learn through our academy, where I am doing all of the teaching. If you guys like this teaching on the webinar like this is exactly how I teach in the school. I try to make it practical. I try to break it down in such a way that anybody who have never heard anything about taxes, where they'll be able to understand. And so you'll learn through the IRS Tax Academy. You'll earn 17 continuing education credits, which is reported to the IRS. You will receive your certificate. You'll receive your certificate at the end. So once you complete the course, you'll receive your certification. Then you can decide to work for yourself, or you can work for someone, and we'll help you with placement as well. We have partnerships with individuals all over the world. And so we can help you with working in a storefront or commercialized location, or help you partner with someone where you can work virtually. Okay. And then also the great thing about taking this course through us is that you get to complete the course at your own pace. But I tell you guys, if this is something that you're serious about, man, you can get done with this course in a week. You go to work, come home, take care of your family, feed your family. At 9 o'clock, you log into the portal, see how many sessions you can get done in 90 minutes. Do that for about a week. Do it for about a week and a half at the most. 90 minutes a night. You can take the course while you're on your lunch break. Okay. Eat and listen to the course. So it's not difficult, you guys. Remember, I told you that if there's a will, there is a way. Okay, so you may be saying, okay, so what is the investment cost? So as you guys saw, that the investment cost is one payment of $297. And then you guys, for you, I am going to do a payment plan that is different for you guys than what's on our website. Our payment plan is for you. Only thing to start, you pay $99 down, and then we'll take 2 payments of $99 every month, so that you can go ahead and get started for just $99 down. This option is different from what's on our website. And so if you said, like, you know what, I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna give this a chance. I like what I heard, and it's gonna be worth the investment, because even if you decide not to go into the tax industry after making your investment, the great thing about it is that you're going to walk away still with more knowledge, understanding taxes, where you can prepare your own taxes if you want to. You'll walk away knowing and understanding tax laws. So you're in a win-win situation. So if this is something that you guys truly desire to do, and you want the link that is different from what we have on our website, all you have to do is text the word ready to that same telephone number that you guys got this link from. You can text the word ready, READ, and you'll text that to 205-964-5306. And it's going to send you that specialized link that's only available for you. Okay. And so you may say, well, Dee, why should I, just trust like you're teaching. First of all, you should, because with the IRS Tax Academy, you're going to get me, you guys, you're going to get me. And I stand behind my word. And I know for some people, like, being a woman of faith, that don't mean nothing to some people. But for me, that means everything. That means I'm a person of integrity. I hold my values to God. I'm more responsible to God than I am to people. So you're going to get me. You're going to get my years of experience. You're going to get my expertise. You're going to get my accomplishment, my track records. And then you're going to get my desire to see you win with no strings attached. Man, how many people, you know what I'm saying? Like they got strings that are attached to your success. Like I have no strings attached, just wanting to see you win and to see you become successful. That's it. That's it. Okay. And so you guys can connect with me on social media. And so now I want to take this time to answer your questions. So I'm going to stop the screen share right now. And I want you guys to talk to me, ask me questions. What you guys want to know? Unmute your phone and talk back to me. Oh, was I so good that I answered all of y'all questions? Or do you have any questions in the chat box? What y'all got?
I'll say some, Coach D.
Okay, who's it?
Portia.
Oh, hey, Portia.
Hey.
Hey.
So guys, I am a tax professional, but I find myself always following the sound of Coach D's voice because she's a great, awesome person. It's always something new to learn in the tax classes that I've taken, which I've taken like 3 of her classes so far. So this is a great industry. As she said, it helped me to get out of debt. I've started a college fund for my daughter. She's in the 10th grade right now. And it's a great industry to be in. And I will be joining this class as well because it's always something new to learn. So that's my advice. I would just definitely do it if you're having doubts about tax preparation in any kind of way. And Coach D is a great mentor to have on your team. So that's all I want to say.
Thank you, Portia. That was unsolicited, you guys. Thank you so much, Portia. Oh, thank you. And so, man, like also about this industry that I love, everybody don't have the same approach. Is just like the partnerships and relationships that you get to build like in this industry. And so, I have just relationships with so many tax professionals right here in my own state and, abroad. So if this is something that you guys are really, really serious about, and this is something that you want to do, you guys can text the word ready. You can text it to the number that's on the screen and you guys can get started. I think someone asked me a question. Let's see. Someone asked me a question. Okay. For P10 CEUs, do I need a whole course? Ask me in a different way.
Hey, Coach, that was me. Okay. I have a PTIN. So for the CEUs, do I still need to take the entire course, or do you recommend me taking the entire course again if you already have a PTIN and you just need to renew it?
So the P10 and the course is totally different. The P10, the PTIN, that just give you permission to file taxes as a paid tax preparer. So the course teaches you tax laws and to help you really understand the industry. So you learn about income deductions, due diligence, Schedule C, small business, write-offs, and how to handle various tax client situations. So the PTN
yes,
is like a social security number in the tax industry, basically.
Yes, but for the CEUs to renew your PTIN, do I still need to take the full course?
Do you need credits? No, you don't. Again, you don't even have to have a degree to get into the industry. But for those of you guys who are thinking about preparing other people's taxes, this is something that I definitely till you don't skip past. Don't skip past it. Okay. Let's see. Okay. Do you guys have any other questions for me?
Yes. Hello, Dee. How are you doing?
Hey, I'm doing well.
That's good. So I have a question. I want to know, continuing education. Do you offer that class? Because I know we had spoke before, and I already, you know what I'm saying, I'm starting my own tax business.
Yay.
But I want to go higher. I don't just want to have I want to get the when I did the what is it called? The class that the IRS wants you to take.
Mm-hmm.
The due diligence class.
Mm-hmm.
So I took that, and they were saying that it would be good for me to take another class to get extra credits for me to become a tax professional. So do you offer that class? Because I think I seen your class on there for the extra credits.
Yeah, so our school is listed as a provider with the IRS. So when you take this course, you do get 17 additional CE credits.
Okay. I wanted to make sure, because I wanted to make sure that I was getting the right class. I just wanted to make sure the right one.
Yes, and if you're already in the tax industry, I actually have a course. It's called How to Build a Six-Figure Compliant Tax Firm. So that may be something that you're interested in. But if you go to irstaxacademy.com, you'll see that course out there as well. Let's see.
Okay.
Thank you so much, Marcus. Let's see.
I have a question too.
Okay. Calandra.
Yes.
Okay, give me 1 second. I just said, if I pay for the course now, do I have to take the course right away when I pay? That's a good question. No, you have until December 20th to finish the course. The reason why I said you need to go ahead and just take it and get it over with, so that you can decide what you're going to do as far as working is going to be concerned. So if you're going to work for another company, then if you want our help, then we need to be able to go ahead and partner you with someone before December 20th. She said, I go to work and have, winter break. You can do it during the winter break as well. So it's definitely up to you. Calandria?
Okay, yes, I have. So you answered one, well, so what's the deadline to pay the initial cost?
The initial cost, you'll have until this weekend for this weekend. Yes, ma'am.
Okay, you said it's $99, and then you text the number that you gave us ready, correct?
Yes, ma'am. Mm-hmm.
Okay, and then I have one more. Okay, and then you stated, like, once we take the course, we have until December to finish, and then once we finish, we get our certificate, and then we partner us with someone, or we're free to do it on our own, or how does that work?
Yep, you can partner with another tax office, or you can work on your work for yourself. It's totally up to you. Mm-hmm.
Okay, perfect. And then I think that's everything that I had. And then anytime we need to kind of reach out to you just to ask any additional questions, we just reach you through Facebook or this phone number that you have.
That telephone number. And once you sign up, we have a community where you can ask questions like in the community as well.
Okay, perfect. Mm-hmm. All right, thank you.
You're welcome. Let's see.
Have a good night.
You too. Shantae said that was my question about partnering with someone to start working. Yeah, if this is your first time working in the tax industry, I definitely highly suggest that you work with someone, work with a tax company. And if you need help with finding placement, we help you with that as well. Miss Sumo, hey, I see you got a question.
Before I ask my question, I just want to say what an honor and a privilege. Wow. When I think about the excellency that you do, because I follow you on IG, the excellency that you do, and like, I know that you're genuine, so thank you. I know there may be other people who are doing similar stuff, but you're definitely the one to go with. Wow, and so I'm looking forward to learning taxes with you.
Wow, thank you so much. I appreciate that. Thank you.
So my question is, because I definitely know that the finance industry is something that I need to be getting in part of. I just recently got my license for life insurance. So I'm a newbie. I haven't really started that. But I definitely want to do this because I do prepare my own taxes, and it frustrates me. It irritates me every year because I'm like, I don't really know what that means. So I just skip it because I don't know and I want to press yes when I don't know.
Right.
So I'm excited for this opportunity to learn. But my question is, when it comes to going out and identifying clients, and I know that you said that you have to be a go-getter, you have to get out there, what are some, because I never have thought of myself as a salesperson, quote unquote, so just like for somebody who's like, I don't know if I'm not necessarily a salesperson per se, but what are some like strategies that people can think about?
Oh, wow. So, oh my goodness. So just listening to your voice and the way that you come off as a very trustworthy person. And, I hear compassion and sympathy and empathy like in your voice, and it makes me just want to give you all of my information. And so I always tell people to tap into their super strength. And so that's what I gleaned from you, just, from hearing your voice. That's your super strength, having compassion for people and listening to others in their heart. And so I always tell people, just be authentically you. And so that's how you draw people in. It's by being authentically you. Then of course there are strategies that we use for marketing as well. But if you decide to go in this industry, I'll definitely share some of that with you. Because I got a whole book. I got a book for this. It's called Get Social for Taxpreneurs, how to grow your engagement on social media. So I have a book for this. I got several books. I write books to you guys. For the tax industry. So I'm excited about that. Shantae say, yes, I would need placement. I'm going to pay my money and hope to bring others. Yes, you guys can share the link with someone. I'm going to share this link out. So if you guys want to share the link with someone who may be thinking about going into the tax industry, but they wasn't able to join. Janelle says, signed up and ready. I have started my tax company, but want to learn. Oh, Janelle, let's connect afterwards so I can see if there's anything that I can do to help you or any resources that I can provide to you. Okay. All right. So any other questions, you guys?
I do have one more question, Coach Dee. So I don't know if you want to touch on that right now, but the WISP, that's something that I'm not familiar with. Will you touch on that in the class, or can we talk about it right now?
Not on this one. That's a little bit advanced for.
Oh, okay.
But if you're in the community, are you in the community? Because I shared. Yeah. Did you see the link what I shared?
Yeah, I got the download.
Okay, so you can inbox me.
Okay, good.
Questions that you have concerning it. Okay. All right. Oh, good question. Yes, it does. So if you're interested in starting your own company, you have your EFIN, your electronic filing identification number, then we can also include software for you for no additional charge. So you can reach out to me and I can explain more of that to you. Okay. All right, so I think there are all of the questions. Well, God bless you guys so much. I pray that you guys, heard what you needed to hear and that you were also empowered. I pray that you've heard something that stick with you beyond the tax industry. I pray that whatever industry that you guys are called into, that you just go into it and you give it your all, that you would not allow fear to rob you of anything else, that you would step out in faith and, just take a risk and take a leap of faith on yourself. So many times that we take a leap of faith for our children, for our spouses, and for everybody else. But when it comes to us, we put us on the back burner. And so this is the season that I want to encourage you to take a leap of faith, get out of your head, and remember that if there is a will, then there is a way. I'm Dee Fomby, and I'm out. Bye, you guys. Love you. Smooches. Bye, y'all. Toodles.